going on, everybody? It is May 4th. Hope you're doing well. So let's talk about some ridiculousness today, because I find these kinds of articles quite humorous. And with everything going on right now, I find these really funny because it's like, you really think that these are going to get people to jump on board your movement? Like, these are like recruiting tools. Like, what is this? Who are you trying to win over with these? Because I would think most people, especially right now, would find this quite ridiculous. I just did a video on Saturday where somebody was trying to say that, you know, couples, when they're sleeping, the man makes it hard for the lady because he has an unconscious bias to take up more bed to make it hard for her. He's pressing her even in her sleep. It's ridiculous. So it's like this constant victimhood, because it seems like before, when it came to like feminism and all that stuff, it was about empowerment and rising up and stuff like that and trying to be strong. Now, I mean, the old poster was the woman like flexing her bicep. Now it should just be someone shaking in a corner, because it seems like every single thing is an issue, a problem. You need to be scared. You need to be worried about this. Everything that guy does is bad. I mean, you can't even sleep now without being oppressed. It's strange. So now manspreading's back in the news. Manspreading has crossed over to the realm of running, and it's not okay. Taking up space in the world seems hardwired for men, but right now it reeks of selfishness. Okay. So this whole manspreading thing, you've seen that. There's been all kinds of crazy stuff on this, like people trying to shame men for, you know, sitting with their knees apart. You need to sit there with your knees closed, even though that hurts. I mean, these women don't seem to understand that men have stuff in that region, and it hurts to keep your legs closed tight. I don't seem to understand. Why don't they make them walk around with something in there, like a, you know, like a prop there, and see how it feels to, you know, keep your legs shut like that? They just don't seem to understand. It's because they only think about themselves. Okay, the real selfishness is coming from the people who write these articles. So anyway, let's take a look and see what the argument is here. Something has been bothering me during my mandated daily exercise under lockdown. It's a realization that's crept up on me day by day. The same realization that the person who first coined the term manspreading must have experienced when it gradually hit them, that men everywhere were taking up an inordinate amount of space on public transport. It's funny, I looked at this manspreading link on Independent, and they actually have a couple of articles on there. One was for that stupid chair. So there was an art chair, and they had like one where women would sit, and they would sit with their legs kind of spread out. And then they had the guy sit there, and it was like this thing that forced him to sit all prissy and proper. It was really funny. And she actually won an award for that. So there was two different articles talking about that. And they had a couple other things. They were celebrating that woman who was going around and pouring like coffee on people's junk on the trains and stuff. It's really ridiculous. This behavior is celebrated. Anyway, a global problem that's put a kibosh on using the tube and train for the majority of us should have pressed pause on the phenomenon. After all, where is there to manspread now? Your kitchen table? Your own sofa? But then I started going running again, and I realized the practice has not stopped at all, merely migrated. So, you know, because of everything going on right now, apparently you need to, you know, sit with your legs real tight, real close together. It's so stupid. So, you know, I still make sure that I'm feeling okay when I sit down. Don't worry about that. It hasn't changed anything. I don't know what guy can sit like that and feel okay. It's so ridiculous. I really wish that these people would walk around with a prop, you know, right in that area and see what it feels like to sit like that. And then maybe some of this will stop. But, you know, it's all about them shaking in a corner over everything. So anyway, for those of us not blessed with a rural setting, outdoor exercise can feel like a minefield during a quarantine. I can't embark on a 30-minute circular jog from my front door without crossing paths with at least 50 people. I live in London Zone 1, and this seemingly is my punishment for not getting the heck out of Dodge when all my contemporaries started moving to the burbs several years ago. So you live in a city and you're mad that a bunch of people want to jog. See, this is like the selfish behavior that I'm talking about with these people. You know, why are these people jogging when I go jogging? Like you live in an urban area, okay? So there's going to be a lot of people. Going to be a lot of people that live there. You're going to have people everywhere. Okay? But I mean, why not complain about that too? I mean, the world should shut down for you, right? It taints the activity with unwanted wash of anxiety. What if I get it? What if I already have it? What if I am unknowingly passing it on? Well, you can just sit inside. You don't have to go jogging. Maybe you shouldn't because you seem scared to leave and do it. I mean, let's be honest here. Even if what's going on right now wasn't a thing, this person would still be scared to go outside. Okay, because everything is oppressing her. Everything hurts her. She's a victim all day, every day. We truly do have a lost generation. So anyway, even before the thing going on right now, there was an unspoken code of conduct that I instinctively followed when I ran, especially somewhere with limited space, like the canal path that forms part of my regular route. An innate considerateness took over, pausing to let people pass on bikes, saying thank you to those who paused to let me pass, keeping on one side of the path. All these things came naturally. What kind of runner are you? Like, you just run. Like, and I could tell by seeing the picture, this person probably doesn't run that much. Okay, it's like a once in a while thing, you know. And then serious runners who are just trying to, you know, get their thing on and get it done. They have to put up with these once in a while fitness people that mess with their routes and stuff. This person, oh, hey, thank you. So they're like looking at them like, get the hell out of my way. You're not going to be doing this tomorrow. I will be here still. So since lockdown started, the code has simply intensified. How would you know that? You just started running again, according to the beginning of this article. So how will you even know what this code is? I've never heard of this code. This is your code that you want to put on other people, which is why you're writing this article. And look at this one right here. Read more. Men, we need to talk about your verbal manspreading. Now there's verbal manspreading. So he's like talking on the phone, and this lady's looking at him. Like, it's not just men to do that. So what is wrong? You can't talk on the phone now? You literally need to shut up, sit down, sit nice and prissy, and don't say anything. Look at the ground, you piece of trash. That's what I get out of this stuff. I don't know about you guys, but that's what I see from all of this. That's what I see. I don't know about you guys, but anyway, I attempt to make myself physically smaller, squeezing into that very edge of the trail, refraining from breathing as I pass people. That's right. I literally stop breathing. Well, then you're not running very hard. I don't think you're running very hard. Doing like some light sprint walking and then lying and saying that you're running. That's right, I literally stopped breathing. Some part of my brain took the decision to hold my breath. When others cross my path, I do it, not consciously, but instinctively. No, you're doing it consciously because you're thinking about it. But you know what you're looking for is a pat on the back, which is what you say you're not looking for right now. I'm not saying this as for a pat on the back or to raise awareness of what a great person I am, although it would be nice to get some recognition for a change. It's more than just an observation about our natural behavior. I unconsciously adopted mine to fit a scenario in which social distancing was required but not difficult to observe. I wouldn't have even been aware of it had it not been for the discrepancy between my own responses and that of others. And when I say others, I mean men. So this whole thing is like, oh, I'm such a great person. I don't breathe. I kind of go into the corner. You're not even running. You're so worried and scared. How are you even getting a good workout? You're not even getting a good workout. The people that she's complaining about in this article are getting good workouts and running. And she's just mad because she's lazy. She doesn't really want to run. She wants to sit there and shake and get scared. I'm surprised she doesn't just go hide in the woods and shake and stare at people. You know, like it seems like that's what she really is doing here and wishing she could run. She just dodges people because she's all huddled up and like scared and shaking when people walk by. She was doing that before the outbreak, by the way. So, you know, I don't know what she's talking about now running. It doesn't sound like she's running. She's not breathing. She's like hiding in corners, stopping all the time. She said she lives in an urban area. So if she's stopping and letting people pass by her all the time, she's not running, because every 5 seconds she's huddled up, letting people pass, stopping, thanking people. She's not breathing. What kind of running are you doing? You're not doing any running. And then we're going to get here where she complains about the guys, and they're running. Okay. I find all of this humorous. Anyway, yes, I know, hashtag not all men, but hashtag a considerable number of men, and definitely hashtag not women. Of course, not women. All the female joggers I pass seem to be doing the same unthinking contortions as me. We have more practice, I suppose, at making ourselves small and not threatening and unnoticeable. We have form when it comes to bending over backwards to make everyone else in the room feel comfortable, often at our own expense of our own comfort. I like how she's assuming that women are doing this, you know. She's just assuming. And they're just running, but they must be cowering in the corner too. It's all about this victimhood thing. Nothing about empowerment. I don't get anything from empowerment when I read stuff like this. It's all about being scared. And like she says, like, oh, I try to make myself feel small. But it's striking how many men do the opposite. They choose to plant themselves and sit in the middle of the path, arms and legs pumping, striding flat out. They make no allowances, no exceptions, seemingly unaware that the person they're approaching is doing a frantic parody of a Viennese waltz. It's no concern of theirs. They've picked their lane and they're going to stick to it. Thanks very much. Wide-legged stance and an unwavering trajectory as if following invisible tram lines, send the clear message, this space is mine, I dominate, better give me some room, love. All of those must leap out of the way, grateful for the small toehold they've been granted. So, here's the truth to this. She goes out running, probably, I would say, if she's seriously doing this, probably around the same time. Usually there's like we all get into routines on times we like to go out. But on several occasions when she's running, there's 2 or 3 dudes that are probably waving and like flinging their arms and legs all over the place, and they're in the middle and being weird and crazy. And then the rest of the people are, being normal and dodging each other. I mean, you just know how to do it. Someone's coming up, you move over a little bit because you don't want to run into each other. But because of like 2 people that she sees on the regular, that means every dude is terrible and rude and running around flinging their arms all over the place when they're running. It's probably somebody very special that's running, and she's just saying that it's, all men, which I always find funny, how this means everyone is doing this stuff. So anyway, and the wording there is very funny too. This space is mine. I dominate. Better give me some room, love. See how she sees people? Imagine being with this person. So hateful, so scared all the time. She literally sees it right here. It feels selfish. It feels scary. It feels borderline dangerous. So anyway, normally this kind of behavior is amusing, bordering on preposterous, exasperating, sure, but more something to roll your eyes at and be about it over a coffee later. But now, it feels selfish, it feels scary, it feels borderline dangerous as they pass, limbs moving like pistons, chugging forcefully out through the mouth like an unstoppable steam engine. I think about how I would feel if I lived with someone vulnerable or was vulnerable myself. I think about the courage it would take to get outside and the fear I would experience every time I stepped out my front door. Well, it does feel like you're experiencing that fear every time you step out your front door. And let's be honest, it was probably like that before everything that's going on right now. You were experiencing that fear. You were scared because you've been conditioned to think that you are a perpetual victim. You don't have the former message, which used to be about empowering you. Why don't you get out there and chug and run hard and whale your arms around, which is literally just sprinting, running. I mean, you can do that too. Instead of thinking you can't and just sitting there and thinking that that's bad behavior, it sounds like these people are just like what you're describing here is like a normal runner. But you don't want to try that. Instead, you want to be scared and shake in the corner while everyone else gets fit. Anyway, the rest of the article is just her with more crazy language about how bad runners are and how bad guys are. Listen, if you're that scared of people, don't leave the house, okay? Just because people don't want to sit there. And like I said at the beginning of it, like, it's funny, like, lives in an urban area, 50 people running every time she goes for a run. Okay, so you just have to make it work. And listen, it's going outside is a risk. You're taking a risk then, okay? But you can't live life in fear. Stop being a perpetual victim. Stop complaining because people that are actually running properly are maybe intimidating you or something. I don't know. But you can't sit there in the trees and shake all day. You need to toughen up. You know, go back to that message when it was about empowerment, not about being a perpetual victim. Anyway, that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you thought about this in the comments below. Throw a like up, share the video. Make sure you're still subscribed. Subscribe if you're new, hit that notification bell, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace. Also, if you want to help support the channel, check out my Teespring store. There's a link in the description. You can find some merchandise in there that you might want to check out. Also, take a moment. Make sure you're still subscribed to the channel. There's something going on right now, and they've been unsubscribing people. So just take a second and double check on that, and subscribe if you're new.